Hey guys, welcome back to Rossoneri TV. I'm Gio and I'm with Adamo for the pre-match hangout ahead of Fiorentina versus AC Milan, which will kick off in just a few minutes at the Artemio Franchi Stadium. Of course, a very delicate match for both of these teams for various reasons. Fiorentina still fighting for an European position, while Milan is trying to get into those positions, the positions that count. And it's going to be a very tough encounter at the Artemio Franchi for Milan. Of course, Fiorentina, a team that is really on form, like we had spoken about in the match preview, a team that really doesn't give much opportunities to other teams, doesn't give much chances, doesn't lose the ball very much. They have done a phenomenal job all season round, except that little stumble there where they lost against Lazio, a very big loss. But they will try to get back on the road, back on track today when they faced Milan, a team that really dropped too many points against opponents where we should have been getting easy wins or at least wins, 3 points. And Fiorentina will try to use their home advantage, of course, to face this Milan side that has been having problems all season round. Adamo, first of all, we mentioned it several times, Milan is in very bad shape. And once again, we see different players today. Let's start off with the formation there, because Milan will be going with a 4-3-1-2, Diego Lopez in net, the return of Abate there in the right back position, Paletta Mexet as the center backs, Antonelli as the left back, midfield composed of three, Van Ginkel on the right, Essien in the middle, Bonaventura on the left, Trequartista, Honda, and Destro Menez up front. Really, once again, it's a change on lineup, and would you agree that in order to be consistent, these changes on lineups need to occur less frequently? Because in a way or another, we kind of have to say it, players have to get used to one another, and the more you switch things around, the more you don't stick to a specific lineup, at least for a few games, if you want to maybe, try to experiment different things, change maybe one or two components, don't change so many or change formation as a whole. That, I think, is a major problem with Milan and why they're not getting the results. What do you think about it?
Definitely, because when you think of it, although someone may say, okay, we're performing bad, we need to change things up, so let's switch everything around. Really, that's not the case, because I think Inzaghi really switching formations and reversing players around every matchup, I think it's more of a panic tactic. Like, he doesn't know what to do, so he's gonna piece together something and just hope it works, instead of going with one plan, sticking with it, and waiting it out until good form comes along. And the issue with changing formations all the time and changing personnel is that the time that you're wasting, losing bad results, waiting and waiting for this good form is not going to come, because these players are not being given consistent chances to really get their good form on, because one game they're playing, one game they're on the bench, one game they get subbed in. It's all a big confusion in Milan. Really, it's like we're fielding 11 players instead of an actual team. I just see it as a bunch of components that are not really pieced together. We need somebody to put those pieces together, and it doesn't seem like Inzaghi's that guy. So hopefully Milan can put something together that can actually get 3 points out of easy games. Not that Fiorentina will be easy, because it'll be the complete opposite of that.
Yeah, guaranteed. And looking at some statistics, guys, ahead of this match, Milan have failed to win in their last 8 away matches in the Serie A. However, they are undefeated in their last 8 away matches against Fiorentina in all competitions. So those are two very interesting statistics there. And they have also scored at least 2 goals in 5 of their last 6 away matches against Fiorentina. Will it be the case again this time around? We don't have the same players that we used to have in the previous occasions, so maybe it won't be the same. But when statistics speak for their reason, some upset might happen, like we have seen on numerous occasions this weekend in the Serie A. We saw Cesena tie Inter, Hellas Verona beat Napoli. So upsets are really, this week they've been happening, and maybe we can hopefully hope for one once again when Milan kick off against Fiorentina in just a few minutes. Now, Adamo, let's take a look at the Fiorentina lineup, because there are some familiar faces, some ex-Milan players, and speaking about Gilardino, Nakpilani, they're in that starting lineup. Salah and Babacar are not starting for them. They will be starting from the bench. Probably Salah, one of the major surprises of this Serie A. Probably the biggest winner, Fiorentina, in the winter transfer market. He will be starting from the bench, but of course, expect him to get some playing time at any given point in this match if the situation can get out of hand. Now, Adamo, you kind of mentioned this in the match preview. Their defense is a bit shaky. Will they be able to hold Milan that's really inconsistent and can get goals out of nowhere in this matchup?
Well, hopefully not. When you think of Milan and how we attack, it's again, like you said, it's very shaky. It's very inconsistent. A lot of our goals from Menez come from penalties, or sometimes Menez will just work hard for the ball, gets the goal. So it'll be out of random moments, not really things that the team creates. You don't really see team goals for Milan this season. Hopefully they can put something together that actually looks nice and something promising that we can look forward to, because now games are really just boring because we're just hoping for the best. We don't really see us getting the wins anymore because we're losing against teams that are just getting promoted from the Serie B, so it's pretty embarrassing. I don't want to say Milan's becoming a mid-table team because there's too much of a label on Milan. They're too big of a club. They're too successful. They have too much branding towards them, and too many people want to really own them for that matter. So I don't think they're becoming a mid-table club, but really under Berlusconi, they're going under that title because they can't beat the teams that they should be beating. It's okay to drop points here and there against low-level teams, sometimes not be able to beat the big teams. But if you're losing on a consistent basis, that's kind of embarrassing. And like I said, it's like supporting a mid-table team because we're not really getting the results. But hopefully they can find a way through the shaky defense, because although Montella knows how to kind of organize it to his best ability, they're not too much of a solid defense. And like I said, hopefully Milan can break them down.
Yeah, the major problem for me goes once again looking at that midfield with SCN in the middle, Van Ginkel, players that haven't been getting much playing time, and when given that playing time, they haven't really performed to their standards. Really haven't done much, especially SCN, which has been given countless chances this season, and really hasn't demonstrated its true value altogether. Now, just to end this off, guys, Adamo, what's your prediction on this matchup?
It's a toughie. I want to say Milan are going to win, but being away at Fiorentina, a team who's on form, like you mentioned, only stumbled against Lazio, it's going to be hard to really guess that Milan would win. I'm going to say my optimistic prediction, 3-2 to Milan. My more realistic prediction, 2-1 to Fiorentina.
Yeah, I'm going to go once again with a Fiorentina win, mostly because I think Fiorentina is a very organized team, a team that really could punish Milan on all occasions. At the Artemio Franchi, they won't be doing any favors to Milan. Milan has actually been escaping a lot of losses as of late due to luck, guys. And honestly, they haven't been performing to their level at all. So if they want a result, they're going to have to perform very well, almost perfect, as we had mentioned there in the match preview. And I think the qualities in these two sides are just too different to actually for Milan to actually consider themselves as an actual threat to Fiorentina. But we will see what happens. It's all going to matter whether Fiorentina will still be that side that we saw against Lazio in a very disappointing loss for them, or there will be the side that they played all through the year, a very promising and convincing side altogether. That is that, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV, because after the match, of course, we'll have our post-match discussing with various Milanistas the matchup and, of course, our opinions. So don't forget to subscribe to Rossoneri TV to stay updated with everything AC Milan. Enjoy the match, guys, and as usual, Forza Milan.